Crypto Savvy here with your daily Bitcoin and Litecoin update. We're going to be taking a look at Litecoin, then we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin and what I believe to be a giant bull flag forming. I do have a new bearish case scenario, which actually ends up very bullish, but I do want to show you guys that target and how I came up with it. Also, I want to look at the Bitcoin daily versus the gold weekly chart at the end of the video and show you why I believe we can still hit 46,000 by the end of the year. So definitely stick around to check that out. Also, I want to remind you guys there is a Discord link in the description below the video. We have a 100% free Discord group. Awesome community, guys. If you haven't checked it out, I suggest you do. There's also some affiliate links down there that really help the channel out. There's some ways to get some free crypto if you want to try leverage trading, which is very risky, guys. So if you are going to try it, make sure you know what you're doing. But there is some links to some leverage trading exchanges down there also. So yeah, if you could use the affiliate links, that really helps the channel out. And let's get into the charts. Alright guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market is extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, it's still a speculative market, so don't put in more than you're willing to lose. With that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. And if you tick the notification bell, that'll get you notified whenever I post new videos, as I do post new videos every day. I also do live streams once in a while. You get notified when I do that. And with that being said, don't forget to smash the likes and leave your comments. So this is Litecoin on the weekly, and we've been looking at this as hidden bullish divergence, where we're making higher lows in the price action, lower lows in the RSI. I do believe it's possible we go down to the $62 range, and we're going to take a look at that. Let's go over the daily, see what's going on there. All right, so in the daily chart, we'll look at my higher targets first, and then I will dig in a little bit. All right, so I'm still looking at this as a cup and a handle forming. We could go all the way down to the 62 and it would still be forming a cup and a handle. I just wanted to point that out. And the measured move off that is from the neckline up here at $146. And if we took the measured move of the cup, put it up to the top, that gets us to $270. So that is my target if we are to break the 146 range, which would validate this cup and handle, I do believe. All right, now let's look at the daily RSI. Then we'll go into the 4-hour RSI and into the more price action. All right, so looking at this as a rising channel that we've watched way back since November. We fell out of it in a falling channel, and what we seem to be inside now is a falling wedge. Question is, do we come all the way back down and test the bottom of this channel, which is definitely possible, guys. That's the bearish case scenario on Litecoin. But I do believe it ends up being a bullish case scenario after all. So let's take a look at the 4-hour. All right, so in the 4-hour, same thing. We could be looking at, you know, this falling channel here. We've had 3 touches on the bottom. Could we come back down for one more touch? Definitely possible. This actually looks like, let's throw some lines in here real quick. We'll clone that one. Pull it down to here and do a measured move of what we might be looking at if this was to break. And actually we would pull it from the breakout, which would be right there, right where it broke out right here, and put it down to, so that, yeah, we could be looking at testing the bottom of this channel here, which is more downward movement. And Litecoin looks like it wants to go down more than Bitcoin, but we'll take a look at both charts. So let's look at the 4-hour chart. Now, what I'm looking at here is a falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern in classical technical analysis. So let's look at what's going on here. If you guys watched the live stream yesterday, I had put this triangle, this ascending triangle here, which could be a bearish signal, and if these lines are correct, we have broken down from here, and our measured move off of that, from that breakout, gets us down to the $62 range. So it is likely that we're headed down there, but again, guys, these lines could be wrong here, so just keep a close eye on that. I believe it would validate if we go down below the $72 range. We're most likely headed towards the 62. If this bottom line's wrong, the measured move would be us breaking this top trend line here, getting us up to $85 range, which is still possible. This is a no trade zone, guys, if you ask me. Yeah, I just think people are getting wrecked. This is so choppy. I'm waiting for it. Same in Bitcoin. I'm waiting for, some confirmation of what's really going on. But anyways, yeah, that's my low there. And a break up from this wedge, depending on where that happens. But if we were to break out, say, around the $91 range, that gets us a target of about the 167. It all depends on where we break out. Obviously, if you watch this line, this top trend line, the target would move depending on where we break out. So once we do have a definite break of this top trend line, then we'll be able to get a better view of where that target might be. I'm going to move this down just a little bit, 166. But again, until we break this falling wedge pattern, it's hard to determine where it's going to go. But as of right now, that's where I'm at with Litecoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. And this is on the Bitcoin weekly chart. As you can see, I have a new ugly red target there, which is possible. I don't necessarily think that's likely, but it does line up with the bottom of the bull flag, so we could come down and get another touch. And reason being, let me open this up real quick, show you what I think it could be. Elliott wave theory is this would be a correction, and this would be A, B, and C down here, and then our next move up. The measured move off of that, you can use fibs or just do it the simple way, where you would measure from this peak here down to the bottom, which would be A, and then we move that over to the top of A, or the top of B. You go down, and that gets us to that 77.19 range. And as you can see, let me get that off of everything else. All right, so as you can see, that would get us down to the 77.19, and I believe we would get a huge run up. But that's only if we break this trend line right here. And as you can see, the same thing in Bitcoin. We're making higher lows in the price action, lower lows in the RSI, hidden bullish divergence. And this does look like a falling wedge forming here. Let me go in a little, zoom in a little bit. Yeah, this does look like a falling wedge forming here. So possible more movement down, and we'll take a look at that in the price action before going up. But I do think that is hidden bullish divergence, and it's a pretty damn bullish sign. Also, I want to point out the similarities right here and right here in 2015, and I do believe that's most likely what is going on now, and we'll probably end up seeing something like this in the RSI, and the parabolic bull market continues. But let's look at the daily chart. All right, and I'm going to look at some price actions in here too. First off, we're going to look at the RSI in the daily. Well, you know what? I'm going to look at the price action in the daily first. So if you notice, I have some more immediate price action going on. And right now we're getting resistance at the 55 EMA, which is at around the $10,400 range. Currently we're below that. I will go into the 4-hour and show you my higher targets, but as of right now, my bearish target is about 94.90 to 9,500, somewhere in there, between 94 and 9,500. And for those of you that are new, the thick white trend line, I believe, is the reversal trend line. As you can see, we had resistance here, here, and here. We broke through right here, which was the old resistance and support area in the bear market. Once we broke above that, we've came back down, almost tested it, and we've almost tested it here. So there is a possibility we continue back down, but I do believe this will hold. If not, though, guys, we have to be aware if we break down below this area, my next target's the $8,500 range, which is this trend line drawn off these three peaks right here. That would be 8,500, and then the ultimate low would be 77.19. I do not believe, I'm pretty sure this will hold if we even break through this one, but that is probably the ugliest case scenario. I do not think that's going to happen, but we have to keep that in mind. Let's go into the RSI. Looking at the RSI, as you can see, this top trend line helped us call the tops of each one of these runs here. And I do believe it'll most likely help us call the top of this run that I do believe is coming eventually. But as you can see in the RSI, we are holding support on this line here, this dotted line. If that does break, then that's coming down to either the 94 to 9,500 or the $8,500 range. Like I said, I watch for this line to hold. I will keep you guys notified, especially in Discord if I see something going on here. All right, go back into the daily RSI. So yeah, what we could be seeing here is either we come down, break through this, get support off that next trend line and up, or we just come down for one more touch and go up. We'll look at the 4-hour RSI too. That'll help us out a little bit. Going to the 4-hour, and this is looking more bullish in the short term, in my opinion. We had this falling channel here. The measured move off falling channel in the RSI gets us up. I've drawn this white trend line up here. Actually, it needs to be raised just a little bit. So what I'm looking for here is maybe another touchdown here and then possibly up to there, or we just continue up from here. So let's look at the price action. I'll show you my targets and how I get them in there. And we might even dig into the 1 hour. I don't usually do that. Like I said, this is a no trade zone if you ask me. So all right, so looking at this, I know people have been watching this 55 EMA and the 200 EMA right here crossing as a death cross, which looks like it's more likely than not to happen. But I do want to point out that if you look at these blue lines here, I have a rising broadening wedge here. We could come back down, test the bottom of this around 10,130 to 10,150 range. If that breaks, I would be looking to retest this falling channel in yellow here. That's where I get this measured move up top of, you measure this channel, this falling channel here. I don't know if you guys can actually see it good, but this is the resistance and this is the support line. The measured move off that to where we broke out gets me up to the 11,541 range, which if that happens, I think it'll happen pretty quick, probably overnight tonight, or we might wake up in the morning around that price, 11,500. But we're definitely going to be seeing some resistance here around the 10,700 area, which will be where the 55 and the 200 EMA are right here. Again, bearish case, we come back down to the 90, 94, 92, which could also be the retest of the top of this here. So actually, guys, I am looking for a good possibility that we shoot up here today or tonight, maybe even tomorrow. But we'll have to see. Let's look at the 1 hour and show you what I've been watching in here. This kind of gives you a little bit better of a look at it. So I was looking at this yesterday on the live stream as a falling wedge. We had 2 wicks out of it right here. We did break through. The measured move off of that, where we broke out, would be around that 10,700 range, which would also line up with the 200 EMA. But again, the break of this bottom trend line, which could be, like I said, between 10,130, and then that obviously moves up with this trend line. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. If you guys are charting along, put them in there and keep an eye on them. This is a pretty crazy area. Like I said, I would not be trading in this, especially if you're not seasoned trader. I don't feel this area is very safe to trade. Let's look at the Bitcoin daily versus the gold weekly chart. My end of the year target 46,000, and I will show you why. We're looking at these two peaks here. This was the all-time high. You see I have this white dotted line drawn down to where we broke down from 6,000. Drew this yellow line from the second peak to where we broke down from 6,000. Keep an eye on all these lines, guys. They all mean something. This bottom is the long-term trend line. We had two touches on the bottom before breaking through up here, and we broke through the blue line, which was old support in the bear market, came back down, tested it with a wick, continued up, and we moved on to this next trend line, which is from these dips down here of support all the way across from the old bear market. Also, I want to point out the hidden bearish divergence, or hidden bullish divergence, I'm sorry, getting lower lows here, higher lows in the price action, lower lows in the RSI. Definitely hidden bullish divergence forming. And that doesn't mean we shoot, you know, straight to the moon, guys. This is on the daily, so you know it's going to take time. It's just going to take time. But let's look at gold. I'm going to click back and forth. As you can see on this white trend line here, we have been bouncing, you know, up and down around it, sticking around it, just like we did in gold right in here. And as you can see, here's the long-term bottom trend line. We had two touches before breaking these two trend lines from the peaks up, broke through the blue line, just like in gold. I mean Bitcoin. You can see the similarities. It's playing out the same, guys. I believe a pattern is a pattern. This pattern looks beautiful. It just seems to be playing out beautifully. One more thing I want to point out. Every time that we're in a consolidation or a pattern like this before a breakout, you can see we have declining volume. Once this formation breaks, which I do believe is going to break to the upside eventually, we'll see a huge volume spike in here, and I believe that will be the continuation of our parabolic bull run. And I do believe this has all been just some consolidation going on here. So anyways, yeah, let's look at the RSI. And mind you guys, we've been watching this since January on this channel. I'm going to go into the weekly RSI. We're going to take a look at that real quick. You can see I have these two trend lines drawn here. This one's from the 2013 bull market, followed by the bear market. Two touches of resistance before popping through, starting the next bull market. This is the 2017 bull market, followed by the 18 bear market. Two touches of resistance before blowing through and starting the bull market. This is the area I was pointing out earlier, and you can see the similarities there and why I believe that we're most likely going to get something like this. And this could be a few year bull run, but it's definitely looking good. You know, long term I'm bullish as hell. Short term I'm 50-50. I don't think we're going to have a huge drop, but like I said, keep in mind of that low target, which would be the bottom. It would line up with the bottom of this bull flag. So let's go into the monthly RSI. Also some interesting things in there. As you can see, 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. Each one of these four arrows represents a new low in the RSI before starting the bull run. 2017 bull market followed by the bear market, each arrow representing a new low in the RSI before starting the bull market. There were four of them on both of these. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely don't forget to subscribe by clicking the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. Smash the likes, leave your comments, let me know what you think. I may see you live tonight, I may not. Either way, I will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day and a great weekend.